Okay, ladies and gentlemen, joining us today on this very special episode of Gloves of AMA is none other than Mohd, Sher E Hind, Farhad. Now, Farhad is an Indian MMA icon and one of the top bantamweights in the world. In fact, he's the 4th ranked out of 110 active Asia South Pro Bantamweights and comes from the amazing city of Mumbai. He's already made his impact felt in the Middle East after signing with the Bahrain-based global MMA promotion, which is Brave Combat Federation, and has a pro MMA record of 12-4-0. In fact, he holds the record for the fastest knockout in Brave CF history, which happened within 40 seconds. A little bit more about Farhad. He trains in Taekwondo and Handokwan style with Master Ashraf Dhanasar at Ultimate MMA with Chaitanya Gavli sir and team. So, Farhad bhai, welcome to Panchtara's Gloves of AMA episode. I hope you're doing well. How are you feeling right now?
Thank you so much for a lovely introduction. I really appreciate it. Well, I'm feeling very much fantastic now. Yesterday I landed Bali and had some great rest, had some amazing meals, some media day today. Right now I'm just chilling with you guys over here.
फैंटास्टिक फरहाद भाई एंड शुक्रिया आपके अपने स्केड्यूल से टाइम निकाल के हमसे बात करने के लिए. रियली अप्रिशिएट इट.
थैंक यू सो मच. हाँ, थोड़ा टाइट तो है ही शेड्यूल, बट थैंकफुली मैंने इतना टेंशन वाला वेट नहीं लेके आया हूँ इस बार. सो थोड़ा मेरा माइंड फ्री है. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम राइट नाउ सिटिंग. वरना अभी तो मैं वेट कर रहा होता.
ओके, मैंने कुछ टाइम पहले देखा आप यू सिपिंग वाटर एज वेल, तो अभी आई थिंक चलेगा वो कुछ देर.
कल से मेरा स्टार्ट होगा वेट करना, एक्चुअल वेट कर. कल मॉर्निंग, इवनिंग एंड देन वेइंग डे.
डिस्कशन शुरू करते हैं. आपसे मिलकर एक तो नंबर 1 बहुत खुशी हुई. बात करते हैं आपके अर्ली इन्फ्लुएंसेस और आपके अर्ली बैकग्राउंड के बारे में. 15-16 years एज अ मिक्स मार्शल आर्टिस्ट, यू हैव सीन इट ऑल. आपकी जर्नी कैसी रही है? आपको किस चीज ने इंस्पायर किया एंड वेयर यू हैव रीच्ड नाउ आपको कैसा फील हो रहा है?
अब तक की जो मेरी जर्नी है, इट वाज नॉट वेरी इजी. आई हैव रियली सीन टफ टाइम्स, ट्रैवलिंग, माइग्रेटिंग places, and while doing this I've met a lot of new people, a lot of new fighters, coaches in my life. Learned a lot of things, fought in multiple organizations, promotions and all. Traveled a lot of different countries, did a lot of fight camps, and learn new skills, striking skills, grappling skills, wrestling skills. So it's been a mixture of multiple experiences which I have gathered till now.
Sure. तो आपकी शुरुआत कैसी हुई? अर्ली डेज क्या थे? बिकॉज आई थिंक 15-16 साल पहले आपको एमएमए की तरफ रुझान आपका कैसे बढ़ा? एक तरीके से कैसे पता चला आपको कि दिस इज समथिंग दैट आई वांट टू डू?
So I was a very big fan of action movies, and I always used to think कि ये एक चीज़ है जो मुझे बहुत पसंद है, बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद है मुझे, जो कि काफ़ी बच्चों में होती है. बहुत मैं छोटा था तब से मैं मास्टर ब्रूस ली की मूवीज देखता था, और जब से मुझे एक्शन में काफ़ी इंटरेस्ट है. मुझे कभी किसी ने इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं किया मार्शल आर्ट्स से कि ये देखिए ऐसा होता है, ये कराटे होता है. जब टीवी पे आता था शोज, और मैं बहुत ही हाइपर एक्टिव भी था बचपन में. a lot of more of a jumpy kid among my friends. So when I reached a certain age, I thought that I should learn self-defense. And I started, researching. I started researching in Google about some of the kickboxing classes near me. After that, I found one Muay Thai training center. It was in Bombay, Borivali. 4 years I trained over there. उस वक्त मेरी एज 19 थी जब मैंने इसे स्टार्ट किया था एज ए अमेचर Muay Thai. उस वक्त में इंडिया में किसी को पता भी नहीं था कि Muay Thai होता क्या है. अगर आप किसी को ही पूछेंगे I do Muay Thai, they will say what Thai. Then I had to explain them कि it's जैसे कुंग फू होता है वो चाइनीज बॉक्सिंग होता है, जैसे मुआय थाई होता है वो थाई बॉक्सिंग होता है. सो आई हैड टू एक्सप्लेन दैट. 3-4 साल वहाँ बीते. उसके बाद में एमएमए थोड़ा सा आने लगा, स्टार्ट होने लगा इंडिया में, थोड़ा बहुत स्पार्क उसका दिखने लगा. I saw MMA, I saw a couple of MMA fights, and I thought why I chose Muay Thai over boxing is I'm a big fan of boxing. Why I chose Muay Thai over boxing is because it allows you to use most of your limbs. That was the only martial art that time what I knew existed. It allow you to use your knees and elbows also, which kickboxing did not. So that's the reason I chose that. So uh, I started doing that. But when MMA got introduced uh, in front of me, what I believed is कि अरे वाह ये तो ग्राउंड में जाने के बाद भी फाइट स्टार्ट रहती है यहाँ पे. Then I thought to make it this as a profession because at that time I was doing my degree course. और जब भी मैं मुआय थाई नेशनल्स में चैंपियन था और सब कॉलेज में फोटो वोटो लगा था तो प्रिंसिपल भी मुझे आके बोलता था कि व्हाई आर यू डूइंग होटल मैनेजमेंट, व्हाई डोंट यू गो इनटू बॉक्सिंग, बिकॉज देयर वर नो वन टू गाइड मी टू डू बॉक्सिंग. I told him I have this option only, and my dad was also from this industry. So, all right, he kept quiet over there. But when I completed my 1 year degree course, after that I went for the interns in Grand Hyatt, 6 months interns, but 50, I think I did over there around couple of months, and I understood that this field is not for me. I needed to start my career, I needed to start my career. My parents were very supportive. They did not, never forced me to go to work. They told me till whenever we can support you, we'll support you. You focus on your studies, all right? Take as much as knowledge you want. And then whenever you're able to shoulder the responsibilities, you can go and do that. So from there, when I did my interns, then what I realized is this field is not for me. And then they said, what's next? I said, I'm doing pretty good in fighting. So why don't you invest lakhs of rupees in my fighting, and I better do travel some other country and you invest the same money in my fighting. So my parents, they said, especially my mom, she had a little soft corner for her son, that I might get hurt over here. But I proved myself with the medals that I'm good in it. उनको भी थोड़ा मतलब ठीक लगा कि नहीं सही बोल रहा है ये, मतलब जीत रहा है मेडल्स अपने
Right.
स्टेट के लिए है. सो व्हाई नॉट यू डू दिस फॉर इंडिया ऑल्सो. और मेरे फैमिली में जो है एक ही प्रोफेशनल स्पोर्ट्स प्लेयर था जो कि लॉन टेनिस में है. मेरा कजिन है, ही इज ऑल्सो फ्रॉम बॉम्बे, शाहबाज खान. ही वॉज इन टॉप 10 इन इंडियन लॉन टेनिस प्लेयर्स. एंड आफ्टर दैट फाइट स्पोर्ट्स में हूँ तो सेकंड में था उसके बाद में. ही इज यंगर देन मी 3 years. My mother, what she said is, all right, we can go with this if you are 100% sure that you can do this. SFL जब भी बहुत चल रहा था, राज कुंद्रा का जो SFL का शो था काफी स्टार स्पोर्ट्स में चल रहा था, बट मैंने कभी सोचा नहीं था कि मैं इसमें फाइट करूंगा जाके, बिकॉज उसके लिए ग्रैपलिंग चाहिए था. सो व्हाट आई थॉट इज कि लेट मी गो travel, let me learn grappling, let me learn some BJJ, and then I will, join some organization and make this as a profession. And I used to regularly go and watch SFL fights. It used to happen in Bombay.
Right.
Right.
So at that time, when वहाँ पे बॉडीगार्ड से थोड़ा अच्छा पहचान हो गया था हमारा, तो मैं और मेरा फ्रेंड बॉडीगार्ड से वहाँ पे बात कर रहे थे जो बाहर सिक्योरिटी होती है. तो शो स्टार्ट नहीं हुआ था, तो SFL के जो सीईओ थे वो भी वहाँ पे बाहर खड़े हुए थे और वहाँ के कोच भी बाहर खड़े हुए थे. वो लोग रघु और राजीव को पिकअप करने खड़े थे वहाँ पे,
रोडीज ex रोडीज.
रोडीज वाले, करेक्ट. वहां से वो बहुत फेमस है. तो उन दोनों एज ए गेस्ट थे वहां पे, तो उनको रिसीव करने के लिए खड़े थे. और भी अभी जो सीईओ थे उन्होंने मेरे को ऐसा पीक करके देखा. उन्होंने कहा कि मैंने तेरी फाइट है ना देखा हूँ यूट्यूब में और तू बहुत अच्छा फाइटर है. तो मैंने बोला थैंक यू सो मच सर, आई रियली अप्रिशिएट इट, आपने ऐसा बोला मुझे. और मैं तो सोच ही रहा हूँ ये करियर ऐसा चूज करने के लिए, तो ऐसा कॉम्प्लीमेंट मेरे लिए बहुत एक बड़ा कॉम्प्लीमेंट था वो, So directly he offered me that next month after 15 days we are having a selection fight in Nasik. So I'm inviting you to participate over there, and if you do good you will win the SFL contract. I needed to learn grappling, and MMA is based on grappling. At least that much sense I had. So I thought let's give it a try. What worse could happen? So in 15 days just I did some jogging and some gym workout because it was very less time and I did not had much partners to train with. I went to Nasik and I got an opponent who was a striker too, and I fought him, and the performance was so good that out of 32 bouts, two of the fighters went to the hospital, which one was my opponent. doctors over there, they took my blood test and sort of, and they started recognizing me because I went directly to the hospital in a private meeting with the doctor. When they saw my opponent, they said कि मोहम्मद तो गया भाई, ये तो आज स्ट्रेचर पे जाएगा, they said, but हुआ उसका उल्टा ही। तो वो
उसके
डॉक्टर्स
उल्टा।
मुझे बोल रहे थे, कि हम लोग तेरा
हाँ,
अपोनेंट देख के तो हमें लगा कि तू गया, क्योंकि वो तो पूरा बोयका दिखता है। यू नो
अच्छा, ओके।
तो वहां
बॉय
से
का,
फिर
या।
मुझे, हाँ, वो पूरा बॉय का लुक था उसका, काफी बड़ा है, वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग गाय, ही वाज लाइक दैट। तो वहां से फिर मुझे एसएफएल का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट जो है वो मैंने विन किया, साइन किया। उसके बाद में इवेंचुअली स्टार्टेड लर्निंग ग्रैपलिंग ऑल्सो। काफी टाइम लगा मुझे ग्रैपलिंग में अच्छा होने के लिए, बट अभी आज भी लोग मेरा ग्रैपलिंग स्किल्स अंडर एस्टिमेट करते हैं, बट आई थिंक इट इज वेरी गुड एंड मैनेजेबल इन फॉर द एज राइट नाउ।
Yeah, I think they would be underestimating you at their own risk and their own peril, because अभी आपने not just national scene पे अपने आप को prove किया, but अभी you're doing it at an international promotion also. So I mean, anyone who comes up against you will be underestimating your skills at their own risk.
कैन बी अ बिग मिस्टेक।
जो आपने 15-16 years इतना बढ़िया से 10-8-9 minutes में हमको बताया है, and adding those very interesting incidents with humor, just standing outside the Bombay
Yeah.
Exhibition Center जहाँ पे SFL शुरू हुआ था, building a rapport with the like the bouncers, and then having been spotted by the CEO. I think those are amazing stories.
And
Yeah.
one more thing I noticed, Pradyut, when he took the name of Bruce Lee, he said master. तो
Right.
वो रिस्पेक्ट भी दिया उन्होंने, so
100%.
really amazing.
Because we learn, I have learned from him a lot of things, so that's why I consider him as my master.
I think such personalities, they inspire you not only to decide on what path you want to go on as a career, but they continue to inspire you through the entirety of your life. So I think it becomes a
Exactly.
core to live by on a daily basis. You just don't admire them for their fighting and combat sports skills.
So फरहाद भाई, अभी हम बात कर रहे थे आपके निकनेम के बारे में, जो एक बहुत ही सॉलिड निकनेम आपका है, शेर ए हिंद। एंड आपने इंडिया का जो परचम है वो हर जगह लहराया भी है। तो उस स्टोरी के बारे में हल्का सा बताइए कि आपका ये निकनेम कैसे पड़ा।
So what happened is, I had a bout. I don't remember which bout it was. It was around, I think, 4 years ago. Around. So I won that bout in a good way. So my master, who teaches me Handukon and Taekwondo, he called me with that name. Arewa, you are a Sher E Hind. So from there, in that group, everybody started recognizing me with this name. वहाँ से मेरा ये नाम आया है. So it's Master Ghansar who gave me this title. ये लकब मुझे उन्होंने दिया है. जब ये लकब उन्होंने मुझे दिया, तब एक कोई इवेंट में उन्होंने मुझे इनवाइट किया था मास्टर घनसार ने, और उस इवेंट में उन्होंने बाकायदा मुझे एक मोमेंटो विद दिस टाइटल उन्होंने मेरे को प्रेजेंट किए थे वो टाइम। तो तब से मेरा नाम जो है, यही लकब मुझे मिला है।
क्या बात है,
amazing. And I think it makes so much more sense now for representing India at global stage also. So it's almost as though the stars have aligned in many ways to give your name more meaning.
Very much sounds like that. Yeah, what you mentioned, correct.
You've been a part of the SFL during its infancy and while it lasted. You've also been a part of the K1 Kumite League in India also. And now you're currently at Brave CF. Just wanted to understand from your perspective, ये difference क्या है in some of these organizations? Let's say SFL for instance and Brave CF. How is the difference in terms of the quality of opponents that you face, the fights that you have? How is the treatment of the fighters? What could be some of those differences?
डिफरेंसेस बीच में ये है, ऑफ कोर्स नेशनल इंटरनेशनल प्रमोशंस का डिफरेंसेस तो है, बट लेवल ऑफ फाइटर्स का भी एक बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस है इसके अंदर। द फाइटर्स साइन विद ब्रेव आर ऑफ रियली highly experienced, high level guys, and they have been doing this. See, now I have been doing this for more than a decade almost, so the experience what I carry, these guys have their own level of experience. So Brave might be a new promotion, It might have started 2017, but the fighters they are signing is are very much experienced. तो एसएफएल में जो
Hmm.
था जब फाइटर जब साइन किए थे और जब भी इंडिया के अंदर जस्ट स्टार्ट हुआ था एसएफएल, तभी एमएमए का इतना लोगों को पता भी नहीं था। ब्रेव के अंदर भी जो फाइटर्स है वो ऑलरेडी स्किल्ड फाइटर्स है। एसएफएल में आके लोग एमएमए सीख रहे थे और ब्रेव के अंदर भी जब लोग फाइट कर रहे हैं तो वो ऑलरेडी एमएमए सीखे हुए हैं। दे आर वेरी वेल एक्सपीरियंस्ड।
Makes
Right.
sense. Quality and standard of basically the opponents that you come up against.
Was-
And also one more thing, Farhad bhai, we did a little bit of research. We also realized that the nationalities, the backgrounds, the international exposure of the fighters who eventually become a part of those fight cards is also very diverse. Someone's from Bahrain, someone is from England, you're from India. There is a huge diversity in the nationalities also of the fighting pool.
I think Brave CF is called the most global MMA organization as well. I think इसी वजह से शायद वो कहता है।
Almost they have been in, exactly, almost they have been in all the continents in the world, and they have been signing some really great fighters. Also, they have given opportunity to UFC fighters as well, who are the ex-UFC fighters. They have given the opportunity to UFC fighters as well, and some fighters they have fought in Brave, and then they have got the UFC contract. Hamza Chimao is one of the biggest names, and my opponent's coach also. He was a Brave fighter, and then he also had fought a couple of fights in UFC too. So after Brave, he got the UFC contract. So that's what also makes Brave promotion one of the biggest, at least in this scenario also.
That's big. The Kamzat वाला ये news हमें पता नहीं था।
Yeah, this is
very interesting.
insiders who were in जितना भी हम research
And
कर
plus
लेते हैं,
Kamzat तो इंडिया में भी आया है। देश का उसका जो फाइट था हैदराबाद में उसने फाइट किया है इंडिया में। सेकंड फाइट शायद जो ब्रेव का उसका रहेगा वो इंडिया में रहेगा। मे बी 2-3 साल पहले की बात है। आई थिंक कोविड के पहले वाली बात है ये। तो ये 2018 या 19 बिगिनिंग की बात है जब कमजात हैदराबाद में फाइट किया था उसने।
इंडिया में भी काफी एमएमए एज अ स्पोर्ट बढ़ रहा है फरहाद भाई, एंड अभी
जी।
कुछ दिन पहले एमएफएन 10 भी हुआ है, तो एमएफएन के बारे में क्या ख्याल आते हैं आपके?
One of the good promotion, Indian fighters got a good platform. ऐसा और भी प्रमोशंस आना चाहिए इंडिया में कि इंडियन फाइटर्स को काफी अभी इंटरेस्ट आया है एमएमए के अंदर, एमएमए फाइटर्स बनना है। सो एक अच्छे एक्सपीरियंस लोगों के हाथ में है वो, और इंडियंस को एक अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म मिला है। सो आई एम वेरी मच हैप्पी विद दैट प्रमोशन आल्सो। ऐसा अगर 2-4 प्रमोशन और आ जाए तो शायद इंडिया में एमएमए का प्रमोशन और हाई लेवल पे होगा।
आप लोगों ने ये पूरा जर्नी देखा है, एंड अभी आप लोगों के हार्डवर्क की वजह से नए फाइटर्स को काफी फायदा हो रहा है, बिकॉज दीज प्रमोशंस आर कमिंग अप, पीपल आर ओपनिंग अप टू अंडरस्टैंडिंग एमएमए एंड ट्रेनिंग एज वेल। सो आई थिंक यहाँ से और बेटर ही होगा एमएमए का सीन इंडिया में भी।
होगा, बिकॉज एक वो होता है ना, एक कहते हैं उसको टिपिंग पॉइंट, एक डेवलपमेंट होता है एक इंडस्ट्री में, एंड आफ्टर दैट एक अलग राह पे चलना शुरू होता है और ग्रोथ अलग सा हो जाता है। सो आई थिंक SFL did that to a stage. Maybe the Kumite One League also did it to the stage. Now the MFN has taken it to another level. Now we just need to wait for another 2-3 promotions to come up at that same level and unearth new talent, and also give existing talent a platform to rise. So I think the future is definitely bright, as you said, Farhad bhai. Okay, next question is slightly different. So we know that you've been mentored by legends like Royce Gracie or Mike Pasonier also. Tell us a little bit about their methodology, what you picked up while training with them, something around that.
Couple of things I would like to mention. It was a long time back when I trained with these guys. Mike Pasonier was there, I remember, and Gokan Saki was there, I remember. I saw him sparring. He saw me sparring, and Mike Pasonier, I do remember also this thing that when he saw me sparring in the changing room, he recognized me and he told me that you were the guy sparring over there, because I believe that we were having the headgear on. So he really appreciated my striking skills also. And then I was around Royce Gracie, where Royce Gracie, taught me. I was learning BJJ at that time from the crowd when the Royce Gracie was training us. I don't know how he pointed the finger on me and he called me to do the demonstration with him. And I did a hip throw on him. And when I was doing a hip throw, he told me to hold there. and he said, "Hey, look how he had put his hip. You have to lift your opponent like that." And at that point of time, I was so young, and I was thinking that, oh shit, the legend is on me, that time. And then I had to
Yeah.
slam him down, and I was slamming a legend that time. That was such an awesome experience, and he was very nice, Royce Gracie, at that time to teach us some really amazing skills. Introduced me to some fantastic guards also, which is called as butterfly guards, which he introduced me at that point of time when he was training me. Some kickboxing sessions with Gopan Saki also, gave me some good tips. And he was one of the favorite fighters of mine at that time in kickboxing. It's nothing but, it just boosts your confidence level. If you train with a high level fighters, it's that. When you're a small guy and training with a high level fighter, it really boosts your confidence.
And you have to be like a human sponge in that moment. Every single second that you spend with in the presence of those legends, you're learning something new, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think, Farhad bhai, you were recently training at Tiger Muay Thai as well. How do you rate them? I think they are one of the top Muay Thai gyms in the world. तो वहाँ पे कैसा रहा आपका experience?
एक्सपीरियंस काफी इंटरनेशनल था, काफी अच्छा था. कहीं सारे फाइटर्स अलग अलग रीजन से वहाँ पे आए थे. कजाकिस्तान, किर्गिस्तान, जस्ट नेम, जहाँ पे स्ट्रॉन्ग ग्रैपलर्स, स्ट्रॉन्ग स्ट्राइकर्स है. सो आई गॉट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू स्पार विद दीज गाइस. had a very good sparring sessions with them. और ये मेरा काफी अच्छा डिसीजन था कि इंडिया में फिटनेस को अपने एक पीक पे लेके जाके यू गो इंटरनेशनल एंड डू द फाइट को. तो वो बहुत एक सक्सेसफुल प्लान रहा. तो टाइगर मुay thai में जब मैं वहाँ पे स्पारिंग कर रहा था, तब मुझे ऐसा लगा नहीं कि मेरा स्टेमिना कहीं पे बहुत ज्यादा लो है. आई वाज फीलिंग वेरी मच फ्रेश एंड आई वाज डूइंग ऑल 6-7 राउंड्स व्हाटएवर दे वर.
अभी हम थोड़ा सा शिफ्ट गियर्स करते हैं एंड लेट्स टॉक अबाउट ब्रेव कॉम्बैट फेडरेशन अ बिट. तो फरहाद भाई, आपकी कैसे जर्नी शुरू हुई यहाँ पे? हाउ डिड यू रीच ब्रेव?
काफी सारे लोग मुझे इंस्टाग्राम में ये सवाल पूछते हैं, तो मैं सबको नहीं दे पाता हूँ ये जवाब.
आज दे दो आप सबके लिए.
आज दे दो हमको.
कि आपने ब्रेव के साथ में कैसे साइन किया. जब ब्रेव स्टार्ट हुआ था, ब्रेव द बिगिनिंग था इवेंट का नाम, तब से मैं ब्रेव के साथ में फाइट कर रहा हूँ. हमारा एक फेडरेशन है, ऑल इंडिया मिक्स मार्शल आर्ट्स फेडरेशन, जिसके अंदर मैं ट्रेजरर भी हूँ. तो वी वो हेल्पिंग इंडियन एमएमए एमेच्योर एथलीट्स टू गेट अ गुड प्लेटफॉर्म. सो साइड बाय साइड एमएमए जब मैं खेल रहा था, फाइट कर रहा था, तभी मैं ये सब काम भी मेरा स्टार्ट करता है साइड साइड में. मेरे पास टाइम होता है, आई ट्राई टू गिव व्हाट आई टेक फ्रॉम इंडियन एमएमए, सो आई ट्राई टू गिव. सो amateur fighters को knowledge देना, help them, उनको train करना. So what we did was, Mohammad Shahid was a fighter in SFL. Alright, we have fought in couple of same fight cards. Then he did some terrific work in Bahrain, and these guys with His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, they started the MMA organization, amateur organization, which was named as KHK. So KHK is Khalid Ahmad Khalifa MMA. It was KHK MMA. And Shahid had Bahrain MMA Club. Shahid is also a student of Master Grasser, which under whom I'm training right now. And so he started Bahrain MMA over there, and this amazing organization called as Brave. These guys planned. So how these guys planned was, when these guys were having KHK MMA, they did a show, Bahrain versus India. They bought their fighters in India, and there was in India versus Bahrain. It was a great show in Bombay, and then Prince was very happy, Prince Khalid Ahmad Khalifa. So they invited Indian fighters to Bahrain to have another tournament, maybe a part 2, India versus Bahrain part 2. So we did that. We went over there and we competed, which was another successful event in KHK MMA. Then they did the third event, and Prince Khalid, he got interested into this. He saw that this is something we should come up with, and then they started Brave as a professional organization, which was very well planned. They started, signing fighters over there. And since I was a professional fighter, so they offered me a contract over there. Since I was a free fighter that time, I was not under any contract. So I said, let's do this. So at that time, Brave the beginning happened. I got my first opponent for Brave the beginning, which was a kickboxer from Morocco. It's been going in Instagram right now, that knockout which I did body to head. He was the same opponent. That opponent was so strong. My God, he literally made my leg this big,
Crazy.
next day. And that's where,
Yeah.
Prince, His Highness Sheikh Khalid, he got impressed by me that taking a lot of leg kicks, lot of blows, I was still able to stand in front of him and finish him off. And that guy was a very, I think, if I'm not wrong, he was having 23-0 kickboxing record. His name was Badr Edin. That's how it started from there. Then I finished, I think, 2 years with Brave. And then I went for some other organization like Kumite One League and all. Then again, Brave offered me a contract. And then I thought, all right, they were offering me some good contracts, signed contracts. So I said, let's do this again. I think five contracts I signed with them. Where this is the third fight, and more two fights will be remaining with Brave again.
Got it.
Amazing.
तो आई थिंक आपने ब्रेव का जो जर्नी है वो शुरू से लेकर अभी तक आप वो उसका पार्ट रहे हो.
Yeah, you can say that. Correct.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Brave
it's
1 and
almost
now Brave 66.
even before Brave. Think about it, right? It was almost that India versus Bahrain, sort of like series. ये तो एक टाइप ये वो हो गया ना, होम एंड अवे टाइप हो गया, वो जैसे
Yeah.
क्रिकेट
Exactly.
है, फुटबॉल. That's quite interesting. We got a bit of an, sort of an eye opener into how you got into Brave, how what you have evolved with the promotion itself. Just wanted your thoughts on how you would rate Indian talent against the international talent that you face.
अगर बुरा मत मानना, अगर सच बोलूंगा और एक्सेप्ट करेंगे तो इम्प्रूवमेंट आएगा. I have trained with Indian fighters. I have trained with international fighters. I have trained with amateur fighters also. Indian fighters, जो amateur fighters है, international के amateur fighters जो है, उनका skills हमारे Indian fighters से better है मुझसे. Because they take it this very seriously. अगर ये चीज, देखो, गलती अगर मानेंगे ना तो ही उसमें आएगा सुधार. अगर मानेगा ही नहीं कि नहीं ये गलती नहीं है, इफ आई से सिगरेट स्मोकिंग इज नॉट अ बैड हैबिट, तो फिर कभी सुधार ही नहीं आएगा उसमें. अगर मैं ऐसा बोलूंगा हाँ सिगरेट स्मोकिंग इज अ बैड हैबिट एंड आई विल क्विट इट समडे, वी हैव टू एक्सेप्ट दैट कि हमारा स्किल्स जो है वो हमें और बेटर करना है. ये प्रूफ कहाँ होता है? मेरे बोलने से ये प्रूफ नहीं होता है. अगर आप बाहर जाके देखोगे, इंडियन जो एमएचएस इंटरनेशनल वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप होता है और जो एशियन चैंपियनशिप होता है, अगर आप उसमें देखोगे कि क्या मेडल्स ला रहे हैं हमारे इंडियंस, कौन से लेवल पे हमारे इंडियंस, तो उसी से यू कैन एनालाइज. अगर उनको ब्रॉन्ज आ रहा है, सिल्वर आ रहा है या गोल्ड आ रहा है, विद दैट यू कैन एनालाइज के क्या स्किल लेवल है इंडिया का. सो आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट्स वर्स्ट, इट्स गुड, but comparatively, our Indian pro fighters should also, improve a lot more, including me. What I do is I keep on improving my skills when I'm off training camp. So we need to focus on that a lot. Because being a professional fighter, what I say is, एक भी mistake नहीं होना चाहिए. जैसे कि एक स्कॉलर बच्चा होता है ना, वो घर पे आके भी पढ़ता है. सिर्फ स्कूल में नहीं होती है उसकी स्टडी, उसकी घर पे भी होती है, उसकी स्टूडेंट, उसकी ट्यूशन में भी होती है, क्लासेस में भी होती है. वो एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्स्ट्रा स्टडीज भी खुद करता है. सो दैट एक्स्ट्रा ट्रेनिंग यू शुड बी स्कॉलर. आपको स्कॉलर बनना है इसमें इफ यू वांट टू बिकम अ प्रोफेशनल फाइटर. जैसे कि अगर आपका जैब, लोगों को लगता है हमारा बॉक्सिंग बहुत अच्छा है, बट दे डोंट नो, उनको जैब मारना भी नहीं आता. एक मिस्टेक भी नहीं होना चाहिए. जैब शुड बी क्रिस्प एंड परफेक्ट. और हमारे इंडियन फाइटर्स की मेंटेलिटी ऐसी है कि हाँ घुस मार देंगे करके, वो भी एकदम गलत मेंटेलिटी है. मैं हमेशा ये बात बोलता हूँ क्योंकि मैंने सुना हूँ, तोड़ देंगे, फोड़ देंगे, अरे ट्रकें फोड़ी है, ये क्या, ये तो एक ही फाइटर है, इसको तो एक ही फाइटर को मारना है हमें, हम तो ट्रकें तोड़ते हैं. ये ऐसी मेंटेलिटी हमारे इंडियंस की, काफी फाइटर्स की. सो यू शुड चेंज दैट एंड यू हैव टू इवॉल्व एंड एक्सेप्ट योर मिस्टेक फर्स्ट. अगर मिस्टेक एक्सेप्ट करने लग गए, दैट मींस देयर इज अ इनिशियल स्टेज ऑफ चेंजिंग.
मतलब आपने एकदम वो नहीं होता, वो आईना दिखा दिया है in a lot of ways. A lot of folks may not have been this
I hope
candid.
so.
Yeah, the example that you took here, right, of being a scholar, I think that's a great analogy here, because a scholar is not just studying, preparing for an exam. They are doing it even when there is no exam, right? To ensure that जब exam आता है वो peak condition में है और उसको ज्यादा अपना दिमाग तोड़ना नहीं पड़ेगा. So I
Yeah.
think that analogy that you used was quite beautiful.
So people like Shahid, people like you guys have really worked so hard, and you guys have provided a platform for this new generation. क्योंकि अब उन लोगों के पास में अच्छे ट्रेनिंग फैसिलिटीज हैं, अब उन लोगों के पास में आई बॉल्स हैं, एवरीवन इज लुकिंग एट देम. सो आई थिंक दे विल probably be better and in a smaller time.
करेक्ट, एग्जैक्टली. आई होप सो कि लोग इसका अपॉर्चुनिटी अच्छे से उठाए जो अमेचर फाइटर्स की है. और आई डोंट वांट अमेचर फाइटर्स टू ब्लाइंडली साइन विद एनी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. पहला उस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को पढ़ो, समझो. मेरे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में भी फाइटर्स है जो मुझे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भेजते हैं लिटरली कि भाई आप पढ़िए इसे, आप बताइए. तो फिर मैं उन्हें पढ़ता हूँ उसे और बताता हूँ कि इसमें ऐसा ऐसा है. इफ यू ओके विद इट यू कैन गो ahead. If I know them, if I don't know them, you should go to a lawyer or you should go to some experienced guy, and then you should have a word with them and make you experience. That's why what I tell fighters to focus on, which is educating yourself regarding the skills and whether you should go with it or not.
No, makes sense. I think like inspirational figures like you, Farhad bhai, like Shahid bhai also. It comes from a place of giving back to the community and investing in the next generation of talent. Like this just goes to show कि आपका खुद का मतलब वो belief system क्या है in giving back.
Correct. Very true.
Farhad bhai, one last question around the entire Brave Combat Federation segment that we have. You'll be in action Brave CF 66 against Ruel Panales. Now, just wanted your thoughts on where you trained for this. Where was your fight camp? I'm not going to ask you your strategy because that's a strict no. वो हम नहीं पूछेंगे आपसे. But just tell us आपका ये अभी mental mindset क्या है? You said initially कि you've come into this fight quite relaxed this time. How is it different from any of your previous fights?
You can say it's a new place for me. Most of the time I fought in Bahrain. Most of the time I fought in India. You can say I fought in Dubai also. But Bali, fighting in in Asia, from the circle where I used to, out of that circle is something new for me. But good part is in my training camp, which I did in Thailand. I've been doing 3 months training camp, as I mentioned. From where I completed my camp in Thailand, and the atmosphere over there in Thailand is quite similar. So that is a plus point for me that I've already trained in this atmosphere, and it ended up very well. I'm happy for that. And Ruel Panales की strategy का अगर आप बोलोगे तो I would like to say in short कि मेरा plan यही है. He's also a boxer. I'm also a striker. He's a kickboxer. The plan is to keep it standing, and whoever got better skills over there, they'll earn the knockout. He's also have finished all of his fights. कोई fights उसका decision पे नहीं गया है, और मेरा भी जो fight finish हुआ है वो finish हुआ है, decision पे नहीं गया है. I'm more of a finisher. So it will be a very exciting fight. I think we both will go head to head. So my plan is to, of course, knock him out. Most probably right now I'm thinking what I have planned is to knock him out in the second round. I hope I'm able to prove that on 26th November.
Inshallah. Thank you so much for sharing that, and wishing you the very best again for that.
Thank you so much. After this fight, I want them to give me the shot.
Right.
So Farhad bhai, we want to ask you, who are your top 3 favorite fighters and what attracts you the most in these fighters?
As an MMA fighter, I would like to, categorize the fighters according to my selection. The top 3, as you asked, is first one, I would say Muhammad Ali in boxing, as we all, look for Muhammad Ali's fights, what he have done for the, martial art industry when he was in this world. Second favorite, I would say, is an old school Ernest Boost. He is a kickboxer, legend kickboxer, K1 time. This guy I used to admire a lot. I actually have taken my low kicks, favorites from him. Third fighter I would say in MMA industry is GSP. Why I like him is this guy is very much professional. This guy is a proper all-rounder MMA mixed martial artist, and this guy has fought some toughest opponents and proved himself, many times. When he lost, he took it like a champ. When he won, he took it like a champ. So yeah, these are the three guys in all different categories.
What a beautiful answer, actually. The way you interpreted the question itself sort of like took us by surprise, because generally people would list out their top MMA fighters, right? You looked at different, like strengths of different combat sports athletes, and you also explained about, like what they achieved within the ring, but also beyond that, the legacy that they've left outside the ring and beyond. So beautiful answer. Thank you.
So हमारी ऑडियंस के लिए जरा बता दीजिए फरहाद भाई, हम अगर उनको आपको कनेक्ट करना हो सो वो कैसे आपसे कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं, इंस्टाग्राम हैंडल और एनी अदर मोड ऑफ कनेक्शन?
आई एम देयर टू हेल्प. अगर ऑडियंस में से कोई फाइटर है, अगर कोई इंडियन एमएमए फैन है who wants to contact me, they can definitely contact me Instagram. इस वीडियो के माध्यम से मैं बोलूँगा एमएमए फाइटर्स को that if you want some help or some guidance, some tips from me, you can message me Instagram, but don't do hi hello. Come straight to the point. I read all your messages, whatever you supports you show. और मुझे अगर वो लगा तो I'll definitely respond you. But I'm always there to help you guys. So yeah, there is Instagram and Facebook. I'm always active. You can contact me there.
Before we end this conversation, some thoughts from you on your experience. आपका experience कैसा रहा हमसे बात करके at Team Panchtara? And like we are trying to do something small in this major revolution. तो हमारे बारे में थोड़ा कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे तो काफी आभारी होंगे.
Actually मुझे लगा ही नहीं कि टाइम कितना हो गया और कहाँ चले गया टाइम. I think almost so much. ऐसा लगा आप लोग से बात करें कि आप लोगों को मैं बहुत टाइम से जानता हूँ, तो इतना अच्छा लगा मुझे. It was a good chit chatting with you guys, sharing my experience and all. And since we share the same love for Indian MMA sports, so I think that was a good deep connection between us. And I'm very much happy to see you guys working and promoting Indian MMA through your channel. And I always good luck to Panchtara. Wish a very, very good luck to Panchtara. And I hope that you become very big in Indian MMA industry.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Stay in touch and all the best for your fight again. And see you soon. जब आप इंडिया आते हो तो जरूर मिलेंगे हम.
जरूर.